stay tuned till the end of the episode so you can learn about the huge giveaway that we're doing with some other media people. Shall we get on to the show? We shall.
In case you didn't notice what I was saying in the robot form that my dad was finally able to do, I was saying that stay tuned until the end of the episode so you can learn about the huge giveaway. My dad was saying huge giveaway that we're doing with some other media people. Shall we get on the show? We shall. Let's go. Pronto, amigos.
Getting Geeky with Gamer Leaf, the podcast in which one man strives to level up his geekhood and helping you do the same, one battle at a time. Now, let's get geeky with Gamer Leaf.
Okay, you've heard of con season and whatnot. Maybe you've heard of Gen Con, but you've never been able to make it. But there is a possibility of being able to see it through somebody else's eyes, through gamer goggles. And today we're lucky enough to have on the creator mastermind behind Through Gamer Goggles Gen Con 2018 Video Blitz, which is currently on Kickstarter. Thanks for joining us on Getting Geeky with Gamer Leaf, Matt. We really appreciate it.
Hey, man, it's glad to be back.
Yeah, we had you on just a few weeks ago, or how long ago? Not too long ago.
That was probably about 4 weeks ago now, I think.
4 weeks ago. Yeah, so you're running another campaign. Unfortunately, it looked like the first one didn't fund, but we're back at it again, are we?
Well, yeah, I actually canceled it and relaunched it because there was stuff in there. I thought it was going to fund faster than it did, and I didn't want to deal with being at Origins Game Fair and tracking my Kickstarter and having to do things like I got to go find 2 restaurants to eat at on Saturday to do the restaurant reviews. So I was like, I'll cancel it and I'll just go with making it to fund Gen Con and have a good time there with everybody that's going to be involved in the Kickstarter, which right now looks like it's going to be a blast.
Awesome. Yeah, and it looks like you changed it up a little bit, and I know you dropped the goal a little bit, but you're funded more than you had when you had canceled the previous one. Am I correct?
Yeah, almost doubled, actually. We're like $70 away from doubling what I did in 20 days and 7 days. So, I mean, takeoff season. The mistake I made, I think, was I made it to fund a whole season, and I could really use a new camera, so I put that in there as a big focus point, and I took away from the content. So I think people were like, "Oh, we're just going to give him toys," kind of mentality. Whereas, I mean, I really didn't change my goals. I'm still going to do 30 videos at Gen Con. It's the same goal.
Okay, just took down some of the stuff that maybe you would use the money for or whatnot.
Yeah, I took the camera out of the picture altogether. I'm actually considering doing this whole blog writing kind of thing as a full-time endeavor. So I'm exploring other ways to buy a new camera. One of those by Gen Con. Yeah, by Gen Con, I hope to have a Shadowrun contract for a novella done, and that should buy me 2 cameras. So, I mean, I'll need some of that money for food, but...
Well, there you go. Yeah, sometimes you have to revamp and relaunch and do different things or whatnot. So that's awesome that this one's currently funded and you figured out a new thing. So you tell us about this. You said you might be blogging full time, or what is this thing you're talking of? You're going to do instead to fund the camera?
Well, actually, I like to write creatively. So what I was going to do, I've been working on a novella for Shadowrun. As soon as I get a contract, and I publish it, I get paid. So as a writer, I can take that money, I can put it towards the whole blog thing. I can, Through Gamer Goggles has always been about trying to blend our real lives with our gaming lives. Well, part of my real life is writing. So I can blend all that in together and make it a bigger, better, greater story.
Well, there you go. That's awesome. So, yeah, that's awesome. So, yeah, changed a couple of things up. And now, so you're going for a Gen Con Video Blitz. In case somebody's never seen your channel, I don't know why they wouldn't. You're, 8 seasons in, is that correct? Or how far are you in there?
Yeah, well, I'm technically, I mean, if you count season by years, I'm 8 seasons in. But I worked at a factory for a while, and that really butchered things. Like I went from, when I worked at a factory, I went from doing like 70 videos a year to 12. So it was really, and that hurt my growth. And now, I mean, every time there's a convention that comes around, I can see things spike on my YouTube channel. I get more subscribers. I get this. I need like 4 conventions a year, and I think I'll be at that nice little sweet spot for convention coverage. So spread those out a little bit, and then I want to revamp some things. Like one of the things I've got going on now, if you go to my YouTube community, well, there's a YouTube community button. A lot of people actually don't know it exists. So if you go to the Gamer Goggles YouTube channel and click on the community button, I'm running a poll as to whether or not people want to see more box breakings or if they want to see more in-depth reviews. Because in my opinion, from what I see on the analytics side, I get a lot of early hits with unboxings or product overviews where I just show people the product, but over time they really slow down. Whereas things like reviews and playthroughs, which is not something that I traditionally do, they tend to be more of a steady growth. So I'm reaching out to the community and trying to build that up a little bit more this year.
Okay, that's pretty cool. So awesome. So you're doing that. And so this community, how's the poll looking?
Well, I just started it like a couple days ago, and I haven't really promoted it, which was dumb on my part. And like 4 people have voted, and it's like everybody wants more playthroughs or more how-to actually is what they want. So people aren't interested what's in the box nearly as much as they were 8 years ago when I started, because I remember when I first started doing this and I'd do an unboxing, in a couple instances, I'd have 1,000 hits overnight. And it was just like, wow, this is awesome. And over time, that's kind of changed.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's changed, like, because we can go, probably a bunch of people have unboxings maybe, or I guess they can look online and see what's on it, or what do you think's changed?
See, well, that's kind of the dilemma. A lot of manufacturers want us to do unboxings because nobody's really doing them.
But yeah, I guess it makes sense if nobody's watching them. I don't know.
Well, but manufacturers think that's what you guys want. That's what they think. And so it's my job now to be like, no, look, these are my analytics. Look at this Dragonfire unboxing and look at the Dragonfire playthrough. The Dragonfire playthrough, yeah, it has half as many hits as the unboxing, but I also did the playthrough 9 months later.
Okay, and so I found it. So if we go to your page on YouTube, Gamer Goggles Canton, Ohio, and there's a little community tab up there, and then it'll give us there we can vote and stuff. I found it. I'll make sure I leave a link in the show notes and whatnot.
That's awesome. I appreciate that.
So, and it looks like you're asking, like you said, more if you want more box breakings, more how-to videos, and more detailed reviews, or less box breaking. So it looks like 70, like you said, more people want how-to videos, including myself, Game Relief. So what will that look like if you're doing more how-to videos?
Well, I haven't totally figured that out yet. I was going to start this thing called the 10-minute review this year, because I don't have a lot of cameras. To do a good how-to, you need multiple camera shots, right? You need one camera for your face, you need one camera for board, and maybe another one for close-ups on card or a miniature or a piece, so that you can just move back and forth, right? Or you need a crew, which is even worse. I'm not ready for a crew.
Then we'll get how-to videos from Matt's perspective with what you say, one camera right now is what we're working with?
Yeah, one camera.
Well, it can happen. Different things can happen. Like you saw with the Kickstarter, you changed a couple things and it happened.
I changed the title from, through Gamer Goggles Season 8 Origins, Gen Con and more, to through Gamer Goggles Gen Con Video Blitz. And it went from being a live program in 21 days, getting $517 to having, I don't know what it was overnight, but it was funded. I lowered my goal from $2,000 to $750, and it was at 780 in like 20 hours. The funny part about that, though, this time around is what really made it fun was I'm doing one game overview and 2 full game previews. That was the biggie. That's why the backers are so low. And I made these promo packages, and I need to find a way to get more people to see them because they're good packages. They're well worth the $25, and they're from good companies. Especially the tabletop one. I mean,
so what do we get? They back at the tabletop promo pack. What will they get, Matt?
The tabletop promo pack comes with the U, which this is actually, I don't think they've ever given this U out for Murder of Crows. They give out a promo U. It's an alternate art card. They give out Munchkin's giving out Game Mechanic, which is a pretty rad card. If you're a level 99 games fan, BattleCon, we've got the Bruce Lee Battle Pack, which has been out of print for about 6 years, I think. So this is one of the first chances you've had to get back into getting Bruce Lee. Nosh from Crafty Games has 3 Nosh promo cards in it. Arcane Wonders has donated 3 Spoils of War artifacts, which Spoils of War is a bluffing game, a Viking bluffing game. So you can imagine what that's like. Elzra Games, for Catacombs 3rd Edition, has donated Anga to us, 100 copies, and we are the first people ever to be giving out this card. In fact, we might be the first people showing it. As far as I know, there's no other place where you can find it on the internet, not even an image. So I'm pretty happy about that. And actually, Catacombs, this is the first time I've had a chance to work with them, and they gave us 100 promos. It's pretty rad. From Ninja Star Games, there's an Arkham Horror or Arkham mystery card. And if you go to the website and look at it, you're gonna like, what is that on the card? I covered up a smart code because I don't know how many times you can use them. So I didn't want people just taking pictures off the screen. Shoot Again Games, for Pinball Showdown, there's like 6 cards, flippers, and a mini flipper score bonus card. For those of you that don't know what Pinball Showdown is, it's a card game based off of playing pinball. And let me tell you, if you've played pinball, it is like playing pinball, short of flipping the table to tilt it. And one of the newer ones, I don't know, it just came in just before Origins, actually. From Cryptozoic, I've got the hockey stadium for Spyfall. That's a good bit of promos.
So you get all that in one box at $25, plus you get a Gen Con Blitz, Video Blitz.
Well, yeah, the Video Blitz is, you're basically this is my way of saying thank you for people sending me to Gen Con to live vicariously through me. I mean, this program is for people who go to Gen Con and aren't going to get to see everything they want to see. It's for people that are going to Gen Can't, or largely people that live in other parts of the world that aren't going to get to experience Gen Con.
So what does a Gen Con Blitz video, your Gen Con Video Blitz, look like, Matt?
Well, basically, it's going to be 30 interviews / game demos / playthroughs. I'm really going to work on balancing out the number of demos in proportion with gameplay, because gameplay, I've noticed a lot of times at Gen Con for me tends to do better than interviews, even though a lot of people really enjoy my interviews because I average 15 to 20 minutes for an interview. So like if I sit down with a Jason Bullman or an Eric Lang, we can get a pretty in-depth conversation going. And then there's sometimes I've had an interview at Gen Con that was an hour and 30 minutes long, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this thing is never going to do well. And that thing gets watched all the time. People put it in their YouTube Red, and they just come back, they pause it, they come back to it, and they watch it. That thing gets played through more than probably a lot of my other videos. It's the whole analytics thing is amazing. It just blows my mind. Yeah, and if I hit 1,500, I'm going to add another 10 videos to that. I mean, I'm probably going to surpass that anyway. I always do. I've been doing this for a few years. The first year I did it, I started off really small, not knowing what I was capable of. And it turns out that year I was actually sick while I was at the show. So I felt really crummy when I came back with only like 20 videos. And then the next year I'm like, well, I did 20 last year, so let's start it at 20. And for the longest time, 20 was my starting point. And that year I did like 35 videos, and I learned a lot. That year was the year I really learned a lot. And then last year I scheduled 30 videos and I did 49. Well, actually 48. I had to get rid of the 49.
So you're busy. You're all over that's your whole day at Gen Con, isn't it?
Pretty much. I don't. This is not for me to go to the show and relax and kick back and have beers and play games, or have coffee and play games in the morning. This is for me to go and work. The only thing I would like to figure out how to do from Gen Con different is actually post while I'm at the show. I mean, I use a hotel. I can get hotel internet, but I tried posting a video last year. It took 14 hours to upload it. And I'm like, well, that's rough. And I mean, there are guys that do it, but they use their phone, and I don't have a phone that's quite to that capability. So I would have to make a lot of things happen before Gen Con to have that happen with like unlimited data and all that stuff. I still use TrackPhone to put it in perspective. And TrackPhone doesn't let you use your phone as a hotspot. So I couldn't upload anything. No, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but for doing what I'm trying to do, it kind of holds me back.
But this way, if they're not able to make it, even if they have to wait a couple days or whenever you get this uploaded afterwards, they'll be able to see Gen Con through your eyes.
Yeah, through my eyes, basically. And this year, my wife, because she's going, so actually there'll be a lot more photos this year. I usually take around 1,000 photos when I'm there, but my wife's going to walk around during the day and she's going to take photos. So there's probably going to be a lot more cosplayers on the Facebook page. There's going to be a lot more pictures and miniatures on the Facebook page. There's going to be a lot more pictures of the role-playing stuff. Just her walking around, taking pictures around town even.
And speaking of around town, it looks like the next stretch goal we're going for, which we'll probably hit that pretty soon, I would think, but 2 restaurant reviews. What does that look like?
Well, that looks like I actually did 2 restaurant reviews last year, and actually I got to go back and link that. I'm glad we talked about this. And I had a lot of fun with it. I built it into the Kickstarter, and a lot of people have actually said, wow, I thought it was going to be dumb, but it's really kind of cool you did it. Because some people have read my reviews, and they're like, well, I'm going to go, and I'm going to go to Harry and Izzy's now, whereas I wasn't going to do it before. So this year, I'm planning on going to Rathskellers. I think I said it right. Because I'm pretty sure that this is going to, Rathskellers. It's one word, but it's Rathskeller. And it's a really cool looking place. I'm planning on going down and taking my wife to dinner there on Tuesday night. And then Wednesday, break into the exhibit hall and run around and steal some extra interviews. I love taking photos of the whole convention or the exhibit hall as it matures throughout the day. Maybe this year I'll have because I'll have the wife there. Maybe I'll con her into making a Facebook story with it and putting it on Facebook and just let it unfold. That would be kind of neat. Gen Con Day 1. Well, actually, I'll call it Day 0 because...
There you go. And it looks like the next thing after the restaurant reviews, which I have no doubt you're going to get, is what? The Gamer's Guide to Indianapolis. What's that look like?
So the Gamer's Guide to Indianapolis is my way of helping anyone who wants to come to basically Indianapolis, but it's really geared for gamers because it's going to be geared around the geeky community of Gen Con, but it's going to be full of like my experiences since I've been going out there roughly since, the first time I went out there, I parked in the torn down stadium. So probably around 2002 was the first time I went out there. So it's going to be things like my best staying experiences. It's going to include all the reviews I write or links to them because it's going to be a living document. So it'll update every year. Every time I visit and learn something new, I can go back and I can add it and I can modify it. It's going to include some stuff about the Gen Con history, the crowd, good places to eat, places to get good drink and things of that nature. things for travel, some places that might be off the beaten path. Like there's this really neat, I don't want to call it a fishing resort because it's not really like a fishing resort, but there's this place about 20 minutes south of Indy that if you can find it and you can get the room early enough, you can get a lodge for like $800 for the week. But then you got to drive in a half hour. But it's nice. It's out. It's in the wilderness a little bit. It's secluded. It's rural. It's away from the city. It's nice. I've learned things like that. Walking, and it'll include things on parking, where to park, good tips and tricks for some of that. Food's a biggie for me, obviously. So that's one of the big reasons why I'm doing it. And then it'll also include other things like, there's a certain race that comes to town, right? The Indy 500. I've never been to that, but I can talk a little bit about the history in there. And I don't know if they still do it, but a couple years ago in July, there used to be a Star Wars convention at the Indianapolis Convention Center. So I can learn more stuff about things like that. And the zoo, talk about the zoo, so make it really kind of like a tourist guide. So it's not only for gamers, so it might say it's a gamer's guide to Indy and then have the punchline, something like, I don't know, I haven't come up with the punchline yet, but maybe everybody's a gamer inside, so that people are like, oh man, and then they can see this. And then they're looking at it, wow, this is a really good thing of downtown. It tells me about the mall. It tells me about Indianapolis. It tells me about this Gen Con thing. And then they're like, hey, I've heard of that game. And then they're like, wow, we might be going to Gen Con next year. So after the Kickstarter, what I'm going to do is after I publish it, it's going to be made available to everybody in the Kickstarter. And then that's everybody. That's even if you just do $1. I'm going to go ahead and let people read it. And if I have errors in it, they can let me know. They can make suggestions because, like I said, it's going to be a living document. I'm going to put it up. Actually, I'm going to use CreateSpace probably to create it and put it on Amazon probably around Christmas. And the Amazon price is probably going to be around $3 to $5.
Will they be able to get an ebook as well, or?
Yeah, it's going to be. Yeah, they'll be able to get an ebook because I'll probably put it on drive-through as well.
It's a running joke, but I don't know. It might be true. Nobody's confirmed or denied it since we've been going. But per se, somebody's fallen asleep. It wouldn't be because of you or your Gen Con video blitz or anything of that, anything about Gen Con or what you're doing. It would be because of me and my podcast, Matt. At the time of this recording, this is the start of the last week of June, and we've already recorded, we already launched 98 episodes since the beginning of the year. So they get a little tired of hearing me drone on and on and on. And so sometimes they fall asleep, but now they're suddenly jolted awake so they don't hit the oncoming traffic. Why should they take a chance on through Gamer Goggles Gen Con 2018 video blitz? Especially, I know there's plenty of other great games out there on Kickstarter, possibly other content creators, but why should they take a chance on your campaign at the current time, especially with everything under the tabletop genre there on Kickstarter currently?
They're not really taking a chance because I'm already funded. But I mean, if they want to support something that's supporting our culture, that's a different story altogether. And that's why they should do it, because I do this. This is a service, really. I mean, I hate using the word service, but it kind of is. I bridge the gap from manufacturers to people who are in their seats that are interested in product. So in a sense, I'm a salesman that makes no commission.
Yeah, so they should definitely, even if they don't necessarily have the funds or whatnot, they can go ahead and share the Kickstarter video or whatnot, or even back it for $1. And
oh yeah, man! Anybody who shares the video or watches it all the way through is helping this become a better project.
Yeah, so definitely go ahead and click on that link that we leave in the show notes so you can find out all about all about Gamers Goggles Gen Con 2018 Video Blitz. So if you can't make it to Gen Con, you'll be able to see it through Matt's eyes. So that's awesome. And is there a way, can people get those cool t-shirts you wear in the Gamer Goggles t-shirt?
Well, yes and no, not yet. I actually have some in order that are in order that I should be able to have available at Gen Con. They're going to have the Through Gamer Goggles logo on the front like that with the troll. And then on the back, there's going to be the Crowing Commandos, Ray Hedman's print shop, because he's doing the printing for me, so he's going to be a t-shirt sponsor, and Arcane Wonders is going to be on the back also. So they're going to be a front and back shirt. I don't know how many I'm going to print yet because I don't have a lot of money, but Ray is a real great guy to work with, so I do plan on doing another order here soon and actually making the t-shirt one of my first pieces of merchandise.
Well, there you go. That's cool. So how do they find you at Gen Con? If somebody backs you and is interested in finding you, or will you be too busy shooting videos?
Well, basically, they need to find me in the exhibit hall because that's where I spend most of my time. So basically, look for the blue shirt that's on the picture on the video Blitz for the Kickstarter, or there's going to be a cream one that looks pretty much exactly the same. And I carry a backpack, a camera bag, a couple tripods, and that's how you find me.
Okay, so look for that t-shirt and somebody with their hands full, maybe?
Pretty much. More often than not, people just look at me when I show up at their booth and they're like, I don't know how you do it.
So per se, somebody doesn't want to, isn't able to go to Gen Con, but they'll watch your videos and stuff. They can get it eye through there, but later on they're in Ohio or whatnot, or well, even not Ohio, but mine is coming there to stalk you in your hometown. And if they're not able to make it to Gen Con, how would they go about keeping up with Gamer Goggles, Matt?
Well, the easiest way is to find everything at gamer-goggles.com or just follow me on the YouTube channel. I do have Facebook and Twitter, but almost I kind of use Gamer Goggles as the central location, because through Gamer Goggles I post all the YouTube videos. I post all the news stuff that I get from like manufacturers. So like if you're a fan of Renegade Games, they send me a newsletter. I repost a lot of that information. If they get a Kickstarter, I post that information. Same thing with miniatures games and role-playing games. I do all that stuff. Plus, if I decide I'm going to do something off the wall, like write recipes or, post some recipes about what I'm cooking or anything of that nature, that goes there too. And then from there, that stuff filters out. I mean, all the videos filter from YouTube to the webpage, kind of, because they go up on YouTube first. But, everything filters from gamer-goggles.com to Twitter to Facebook. So it was originally designed. Originally, it was designed not to have any video, so it's still a work in progress, I guess. But
well, there you go, awesome. So so there's that. There you have it. We'll make sure we leave links in the show notes, so if they can't make it to Gen Con and they can at least watch your videos and whatnot, and so they can definitely go check out your Kickstarter or whatnot. So I'm wondering. I know a lot of times, mostly on Kickstarter, there's a lot of games coming out and whatnot, and a lot of times I see them where they're not successful first off, but then they go ahead and relaunch. Do you have any advice, because it seems like you're doing pretty good with the changes and whatnot, any advice you would offer to anybody who might be relaunching or need to relaunch a game or anything on Kickstarter? What words of caution or suggestions would you give them, Matt?
Well, I actually think I'm going to write a small book like a mini ebook on this topic after this Kickstarter, because this is my 6th project. I've had 2 fail or 2 be canceled and relaunched. Totally reworked them both. Well, this one was the easiest one to rework. But my very first Kickstarter, I put it down, I needed like $6,000. And the reason it failed was I needed to buy all the merchandise I was trying to give to people to make them feel like they were getting something of value. And it turns out I should have learned from that lesson. I took that $3,000 and I turned it into $750 of nothing but content. I sold the content, and I succeeded. This year, I did it for $2,000, and I added the camera in there, and I ended up having to relaunch it, and now I succeeded. It went back to being about content. So basically, the moral of the story is you've written your Kickstarter, you've developed your game. Now go take 3 to 6 months to market it. because if you don't do that, you will fail.
There you go, definitely. Yeah, so that's some valid advice coming from Matt, who's currently running the Gamer Goggles Gen Con Video Blitz. And just so something for our fans coming up here, Gamer Leaf, myself, will be sitting down with Sky Carlisle from Board Game Websites to where we'll be coming out with the short clips of 15 to 30 minutes on what to do to prepare for your Kickstarter, both pre-Kickstarter, during Kickstarter, and after Kickstarter, and also for relaunch. So make sure you watch our website, gamerleafgo.com, as well as Facebook. And if you can download if you want to stay subscribed to our podcast, they can be found at Getting Geeky with Gamerleaf. That's all one word, and you can do that. And we'll be coming out with those relatively soon, I hope. I hope sooner as opposed to later. Those would be short snippets here and there and give some advice and whatnot. And also look for Matt's, I guess it'll be an ebook coming out pretty soon here.
Well, yeah, but that's not going to be until after I get the Kickstarter fulfilled. Actually, it won't be before I get the Kickstarter fulfilled. And in fact, it might not be before I publish my game. But
well, there you go. At some point in the future. But otherwise, you heard it here first on Getting Geeky with Game Relief. Are you on any other podcast talking about this? Maybe I shouldn't have said that.
Not yet, I'm not. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to follow up with what I'm playing now again. I think he wants to do a post-Origins video and talk about the Kickstarter again.
Well, there you go. So I guess I'm in rights to, this will go up Wednesday unless you're going to hurry and talk to him and he's going to post before Wednesday. I can say, you heard it here first on Getting Geeky with Game Relief?
You can say that for sure.
Oh, good. Yeah, for some reason I always get a kick out of that, so that's exciting. Well, we don't want to keep you all night, Matt, but we really appreciate you coming on Getting Geeky with Game Relief with us tonight. We really appreciate it.
Well, thank you. And actually, after the $1,500 mark, I have quite a few more stretch goals that I just haven't published yet, which it looks like I'm going to have to start thinking about because it looks like we're going to start creeping up on that number.
Yeah, so you better watch the Kickstarter page. Like I said, we'll leave links in the show notes so everybody can keep an eye on that. But yeah, we really appreciate it, Matt.
No, I'm glad to be here. I actually expect to be back on again, I don't know, maybe November-ish when my card game's done.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, we'll have to keep our eye on that and make sure you click the links and stuff. We'll keep you posted, everybody. So thank you, Matt. We appreciate it.
You're welcome, and live vicariously.
It's time for Kickstarter Corner. To begin now.
Okay, so coming to you live, well, I guess it was live when we recorded it, for Kickstarter Corner. We've got a couple of games coming at you this time. We've got Dark Naga Carcosa for 5th edition. It's from Dark Naga Adventures from Kevin Watson. It's a non-linear adventure in the classic sandbox style, where the party, level 11 through 12, fights to escape the lair of the Old One Haster. This one only has a couple more days by the time you hear this, so you have through this Sunday, the 1st of July. So definitely check it out. They're over 200% funded, so make sure you check that one out if you like role-playing games. And then we've also got Last One In, a zombie-themed card game. Last One In is a 2 to 4 player zombie-themed card game where players race to save civilians or flood their opponent's town with zombies. Definitely check this one out. They've got about 7 days to go, and then you can have a great zombie-themed game for your next Halloween. How does that sound? Kind of spooky and kind of eerie, isn't it? Well, I guess it could be, or it could not be. It depends on how you look at it. So yeah, we won't do that right now. But then we've also got Dragonscales Fantasy RPG by James M. Ward and Stephen A. Lee. It's a new fantasy RPG based on James M. Ward's card system. You mean we're not rolling dice? That's correct. Explore the Chromatic Kingdoms, the City of Concord, and the Great Rift Canyon. Going for another, 13 days at the time of this recording, so almost 2 weeks. Yeah, shy of 2 weeks, because you'll hear this on Wednesday, and it goes through Monday the 9th of July. So definitely keep your lookout on that one. And then we've also got the Forgotten Dungeon Mega Adventure. It's a D&D 5, D&D 5e, DS, and 77W. The Forgotten Dungeon is an old-school adventure that incorporates legendary artists from the days of TSR, AD&D, D&D 5e, 77W, and DSRPG. Definitely check this one out. They're overfunded as well, and they're going for a long time till the 30th of July. And then we've got Lunar 5000. It's a board game where players build and race in a personalized spaceship. Win the dice at the table. Will you be in the winner's circle? They are going through Thursday the 12th of July. Definitely check this one out. And then this one launched a little bit ago, and we just barely picked it up for your Kickstarter Corner convenience, so you can hear about it here as opposed to having to search through everything there. It's from SB Games. It's Vikingjarl, the board game. I don't know exactly how to pronounce that, but it's Vikingjarl. It's an exciting strategic board game about Vikings, Norse mythology, warfare, trade, and building settlements made by Norwegian Vikings. Definitely give this one a whirl. Check it out. It looks really cool. And it's going through when? Yes, that's a good question. It's going through the 20th of July. And this is their first game, so let's show them a little bit of support and love and see what we can do to help this great game become a reality, shall we? And then I think that's about it. So you know what time it is? It's your least favorite time, our least favorite time. Time for us to get on with our lives, you to get on with your lives.
Actually hit by a truck, so he couldn't say the right things because he was hit by a truck. So we have a big giveaway, huge giveaway, get it, in celebration of hitting 200 episodes, which all come on Friday unless my dad gets hit by a kitchen. We've teamed up with the Giveaway Geek, Unfiltered Gamer, and TLDR Gamer game series to bring one lucky listener or winner to the huge game Gloomhaven, which is on BGG's hottest go-to certain giveaways on GamerLeaf.com. Kind of like Pokemon Go, except truck GamerLeaf Go.
GamerLeafGo.com.
See, now he's interrupting me because he did get hit by a truck. See, guys? Well, it's time for us to go. It's our worst time, especially for me. I have to cry every night for me to get to sleep when I have to sign off. Well, I guess it's time for you to get on to your life and us to go help Dad find a doctor. So stay geeky, get geeky, and call the doctor for Dad. This has been Princess Leaf and maybe a little Gamer Leaf because he just had to help a little. Done. Namaste. Namaste, guys. Namaste. Have ketchup all day and every day. Goodbye. Namaste. Namaste, guys. Namaste. Come on, say it with me. Namaste.
But in the meantime, you know what? We will catch y'all on the flip side. You guessed it. Gamer Leaf out.
Gamer Leaf levels up. Tune in next week to see if Gamer Leaf's luck holds up.